Hey everyone, welcome to Super Manga Review. We're back in Konoha to cover Volume 7 of Naruto. In this volume, the second Chunin exam ends with much fighting. We look at the poetry of Gaara, and Kishimoto gives us a deeper look into his digital heart. Volume 6 left us with Ino leading her team to the aid of Sakura, who was being attacked by the Sound Ninja Trio. They fight, and they use something called the Inoshikacho formation, or boar deer butterfly formation. This is a much used reference of a combination used in the Hanufada card game Koi Koi. I don't really understand how this game works, so I won't try explaining it, but I assume the Inoshikocho team have based a lot of their lives on this particular card game. It's sort of like the Batman villains, the Royal Flush Gang, or maybe they can fight the very crappy supervillain Double Down. He's kind of a playing card dude. Maybe they can fight Gambit, who's the shittiest X-Men. I guess the literary criticism here is playing card themed characters are stupid. Neji and Tenten also show up to this fight, but none of it matters. None of it matters. It's because Sasuke eventually wakes up and kicks everyone's ass. So let's turn to the more cheery subject of Gaara. We get a real sense of how powerful Gaara is in this volume. He murders a couple of people and sets a record for clearing the second Chunin exam, and he does it without getting a scratch on him. We also learn that he's a lover of poetry, and I'm going to try and do my best here to recite a small stanza he shares with us. Bitter crimson tears flow from lifeless eyes and mingle with the endless sands, bestowing ever greater power upon the demon god. These lines have been quoted on the Facebook and DeviantArt pages of thoughtful 12-year-olds for years, but what do they mean? We know language matters to Gaara, as we can see clearly that the character Ai, which is Japanese for love, is tattooed to his face. It's not just that he has a lot of love in him, but that he loves the very thing it's representing, and that's language, and he's decided to write that on his face. American novelist Stephen Crane also wrote a poem about a monster in the desert titled In the Desert. Maybe you can see some similarities between it and Gaara's poem. Yeah. In the desert, I saw a creature, naked, bestial, who, squatting upon the ground, held his heart in his hands and ate of it. I said, "Is it good, friend?" "It is bitter." "Bitter," he answered, "but I like it, because it is bitter, and because it is my heart." It's hard not to imagine Gaara in this poem, a creature of the desert who describes a mixing of bloody tears in the sands, but it's not his enemies' tears he's talking about, but his own. And he's not growing stronger by murdering people. He's growing stronger by giving into his sadness. This is the vision Gaara has of what his life is, to be a killer falling into a pit of sadness in the desert, which symbolizes his isolation, eating his own heart, or eating his bitter feelings. When someone mentions pits in the desert, I'm sure all our minds immediately jump to one other person: Saddam Hussein. After the 2003 invasion by the US and its allies, Saddam was found hiding in a spider hole, or his own personal pit of sadness. And here's another interesting fact you may not have known about him. He had a Quran written in his own blood. This act of him tying his literal blood to such an important book demonstrates how dearly he views language and what it can express. It's as though he thinks language puts him in touch with the divine. If that's not a lover of language, I don't know what is. Another popular fact about Saddam Hussein is that he's responsible for the deaths of millions of people. Let's get back to the poetry. Another translation of Gaara's poem I found on the internet reads like this. The blood mixes with the flowing sand and grants more power to its killer. And that's a lot less magical than the first version, which is the official one, so we're going with that. Unlike previous volumes, which only gave us a glimpse into the mindset of the sentients known as Kishimoto 2000, this volume goes in depth. The first thing Kishimoto describes is having a twin brother. This is already a bit suspect, as I think he might just mean a twin processor, or that he's a binary creature, maybe like he's ones and zeros. He also says that his birth was considered a victory for science. Now, most human births are called miracles, but what you may not know is that babies are born literally every day. So it's not so much a miracle as it is mundane. How is the birth of twins a victory for science? Kishimoto's childhood is described plainly enough, with him going to school and being a pedantic child who insists on the rules. You could almost call him a cold, calculating machine of logic. In fact, I think I just did that. He also mentions his favorite shows growing up were Doraemon, Mobile Suit Gundam, and Dr. Slump. All three of these have heavy robot presences. Doraemon is about a robot cat. Dr. Slump is about a robot girl. Both stars of these shows are robots pretending to be organic beings. Interesting. He also refers to Gundam model kits he liked to build as characters. In what way are mobile suits characters? Kira Yamato, Amuro Rei, and Hiroyui are characters. The Strike, the RX-78, and the Wing are just mobile suits they pilot. Interesting how Kishimoto felt an affinity with the robots there. Kishimoto also describes how he was obsessed with building radio-controlled cars, Gundam model kits, and it really paints the picture of a young boy who lived and breathed mechanical things. This volume's author note, he says the entire volume of manga was created digitally, and he drew himself as a robot. I'm still not sure about his ability to transcend time, to be honest, but I think we can finally solve at least one mystery, and that Kishimoto is most definitely a robot. Naruto's ethics have vanished pretty much entirely as he tries to cheat in the second Chunin exam. I think Hinata's attempts to seduce him earlier on may have been more powerful than we realized, and the corruption of Naruto by the feminine wiles of Hinata is a plotline we're probably going to have to pay attention to in future volumes. One notable cover in this volume is the character popularity poll results page. These are a staple of a lot of manga in Japan, and they give you a good insight into which characters are popular with the readership at the time of publishing. In first place, there's Kakashi. In second place is Naruto, which is pathetic because the series is named after him. Third place is Sasuke. Fourth place is Iruka, surprisingly. More surprisingly, Sakura got fifth place. And you can see the rest there. It's just kind of shocking that Kakashi got so many more votes than everyone else. I don't know, I guess he is an interesting character in that he's secretly trying to murder one of his students, and he's got this cool attitude and all that. Out of everyone in the series, my personal favorite would be the featured character on the true awesome title page of this volume, Chapter 58. Akamaru in his little doghouse. This is so cute. He's got a little dog girlfriend picture and Buddy Kiba. It's awesome. He's the star. They should rename this series Akamaru, The Adventures of a Ninja Dog. That would be way more exciting, probably. And on that bombshell, we're wrapped up here with our look back at Volume 7, and I hope to see you all in the video for Volume 8. In the meantime, like, subscribe, share with a friend, comment. Thanks for watching.